May 9, 2018, 12:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. May 9, 2018, 12:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. One of the most entertaining series of the 2018 Stanley Cup playoffs will conclude on Thursday, when the Jets and Predators play Game 7 at Bridgestone Arena. Watch NHL with Fubo TV. The consensus entering the second round series between Central Division rivals Winnipeg and Nashville was that it had the potential to be wildly entertaining. The two best regular season teams in point total, considered two of the best teams in the NHL, played 5 incredibly tight games before the postseason, setting the stage for what could have been one of the highlights of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They haven't disappointed so far, and perhaps unfortunately, the series will have to come to an end Thursday night when they play a Game 7 at Bridgestone Arena, 8 p.m. ET, NBC, CBC. More, Predators fans christen Game 5 with Cinco de Mayo-themed catfish. How slim has the margin for error been in this series? This tweet sums it up pretty well. How close is this Winnipeg-Nashville series? S shot attempts, 338 to 338. S shots, 177 to 177. S goals, 12 to 11. In fact, all three Sporting News staffers who predicted this series had it going at least 6 games. At the end of the day, this series has been about as evenly matched as it can be, Predators head coach Peter Laviolette said. It's really going to come down to the play on the ice. During their run to the 2017 Stanley Cup Final, the Predators did not play in a single Game 7. The furthest they were pushed in a series was 6 games. That happened 3 times, beginning in the second round against the Blues and ending in the Cup final loss to the Penguins. Nashville played in one elimination game in that playoff run, and it ended their quest for the Cup. They did just stave off an early playoff exit in Game 6, on the road against the Jets, winning at MTS Center, 4-0. For two teams that also couldn't stop scoring against each other in the regular season, 4 of the 5 regular season games featured at least a combined 8 goals. This playoff series has turned into a defensive battle at times. In Game 1, Winnipeg got a huge effort from Connor Hellebuyck, who stopped 47 shots, in a 4-1 Jets victory. The teams exploded offensively in Game 2, a 5-4 Predators victory in double overtime, and in Game 3, a 7-4 Jets win, but Nashville clamped down for a 2-1 win in Game 4. The Jets limited the Predators to 2 goals in a 6-2 Game 5 victory, before Pekka Rinne and co. shut out Winnipeg in Game 6. I would say Game 2 would be the game one would have thought all 6 would look like. Jets head coach Paul Maurice said. For you to write a story on the series, you would have to write 6 different stories, but it's the 7th story that will decide who moves on to the Western Conference Finals, with the Golden Knights awaiting the winner. This series has also been determined of late by the top forwards on the respective teams. The Jets are 3-1 in this series, and 6-1 in the playoffs when Mark Scheifele records at least a point. Conversely, the Predators are 3-1 in this series and 6-2 in the playoffs when Philip Forsberg records a point. Goaltending. The Jets have gotten the better of the goaltending matchup between 2 Vezina Trophy finalists thus far. Hellebuyck, a playoff rookie, has stopped 199 of the 216 shots he's faced in this series, good for a .921 save percentage, actually down from the .924 he posted in round 1. I prepare the same way as every other game, Hellebuyck said. We've gotten here for a reason. We've played our game, and we've been successful with our game, and we can't change that now. For the first time all series, the teams will have an extra day off between games, thanks to a Justin Timberlake concert at Bridgestone Arena Wednesday night. Hellebuyck said he's not nervous it will throw him off his routine, though. For me personally, it's just an extra day of rest, he said. It's a weapon, and I plan on using it. Movie camera, we've gotten here for a reason. We've played our game and we've been successful with our game, and we can't change that now. We've got to keep doing the same things and it's all on the line. We've got to bring it. Connor Hellebuyck. As a collegiate at UMass Lowell, Hellebuyck led the Riverhawks to consecutive conference championships, earning tournament MVP in each run. The semifinal and final of that tournament is played at TD Garden. In his 4 games in that building for that tournament, Hellebuyck allowed 1 goal, stopping 135 of 136 shots, a .993 save percentage including shutouts in each championship game. Rinne stopped all 34 shots he faced in Game 6 to keep the Predators' postseason alive, but it's been an up-and-down playoffs for him. He was beaten 6 times in Game 5 on 26 shots, before being pulled in favor of Juuse Saros. Rinne has 2 shutouts in 12 games during this playoff run, but has also allowed 4 or more goals in 5 of those other 10 games. Injury report. In terms of the lineups, the big question mark is on the Nashville bench, where fourth-line center Mike Fisher's status is very much unknown. Fisher played 5 shifts in the first period of Game 6 totaling .258 before leaving with an undisclosed injury. We'll sift through everything where our guys are at, and if we need to come out with something we will, Laviolette said. Translation: Fisher is a game-time decision, probably with a much more significant injury than what's being let on, and his status will be revealed during pre-game warm-ups. If Fisher can't go, the Predators could go back to Mika Salomaki, who was scratched in Game 6 in favor of Scott Hartnell. Salomaki has played in 8 of the 12 games for Nashville in these playoffs, including 4 of 6 against Winnipeg. On the Jets' side of things, with Matthew Perreault back in the lineup, it's likely Winnipeg will go with the same 18 skaters. Brian Little was questionable for Game 6 with an undisclosed ailment, but ended up remaining in the lineup. Jets' projected lineup: Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler, Nikolai Ehlers, Paul Stastny, Patrick Lane, Matthew Perreault, Brian Little, Joel Armia, Brandon Tonave, Adam Lowry, Andrew Kopp, Josh Morrissey, Jacob Trouba, Toby Enstrom, Dustin Byfuglien, Ben Sherrod, Tyler Myers. Connor Hellebuyck. Predators projected lineup: Philip Forsberg, Ryan Johansson, Victor Arvidsson, Kevin Fiala, Kyle Turris, Craig Smith, Colton Sissons, Nick Bonino, Austin Watson, Scott Hartnell, Mika Salomaki, Mike Fisher, Kai Jarnkrok, Roman Josi, Brian Ellis, Matthias Ekholm, PK Subban Madurwin, Yannick Weber, Pekka Rinne.